I just received my Freaks from Syos, French company Shape Your Own Sound. The Freaks are mouthpieces that were made that either had a mistake in the how it felt, or maybe the baffle was uneven, something like that, something that was imperfect, but they take it out of production and they were giving away, or not giving away, but giving away for a reduced price during Halloween. So I got these three mouthpieces for alto saxophone for only 90 euros. Usually, every signature mouthpiece will cost you 199 euros. If you want a custom made mouthpiece, it costs you 299. But I'm pretty excited about how they sound because even though there's small flaws in them, they are 100% played. So, hi YouTubers, hi Instagrammers. Product review. If you had seen the last product review, I was here reviewing mouthpieces that I've purchased at Syos, a French company making custom-made also mouthpieces called Syos, Shape Your Own Sound. You can find them at syos.io. And they usually, let's say, well, first of all, it was part of a campaign over Halloween, where I was able to get 3 freaks, what they call them, freak mouthpieces. Basically, it had to do with there were mouthpieces that were made. They made them, but they had imperfections. Something in the production just didn't go right, and either the chamber was irregular, something had gone awry, and they decided to take them out of production. And so and of course with manufacturing anything, some products are not going to turn out the way you want to have it, but of course you only want to send out the best materials that you have. And so and so they gave the public an opportunity to buy their mistakes, but they're all 100% playable mouthpieces. I mean, so I got 3 of them for 90 euros, which is really cheap, because each mouthpiece, a signature model, what they have available on their website, will cost you 199 euros. If you want to have a mouthpiece custom made for you, that will cost you 299 euros. So really at 30 bucks a shot, 30 euros a shot, it's not bad. But what I'm going to be doing in this video, that's different from the other one. The other video, I was reviewing the mouthpieces using my Summer Mark 6 alto saxophone. This one, in this video, I'm going to be using my Cannonball Raven saxophone. Totally different sound, totally different material. And still, my normal setup, I usually use a Vendoren V16 mouthpiece with a small chamber. And an A9, so with a 9 opening. I know for some of you out there that might sound pretty crazy, but for me, I love it. It works that way. I like that really open mouthpiece, and so works for me. And I'm going to be doing in this video, I'm going to be using also the original neck with the Raven, but also I'm going to be using the fat neck, and the fat neck. And also just to make comparisons in the sound with these mouthpieces. And so, so let's start out. I'm going to be starting out with the blue one just like I did in the last video. And I'm going to be first starting off using the Syos ligature. The one they sent along a ligature to come with the mouthpieces. That was very nice of them. And because I actually didn't expect that, that I had to use my own ligature, which is fine, But I think it's pretty cool that they sent a ligature that that fits their mouthpiece. And so let's give it a whirl. Whoa, not exactly what I planned. Wait a minute, let's try that once again. Now, this one I'm seem to be getting a lot of funny resistance. I don't know, maybe it's just somehow everything is just not sitting correctly. I mean, I did notice, you know, when I made the last video, that not every one of these mouthpieces are really airtight, you know. Like for instance, like I can't hold the bottom here, suck the air out, and then you know, it's just not happening. So that means, you know, the mouthpiece is somehow leaking. Yeah, I mean, just it's not closing properly. I won't say leaking. It's just not closing properly. So I'm not getting that to happen. So I'm gonna first try this. I'm gonna try this now using the Van Doren Mio ligature. I believe that's what it's called, Mio or something like that. But I'm gonna try it with this ligature. So you get it set up. I mean, so yeah. I mean, so there, the sound is fine. Only thing that bothers me is that in the middle range, it sounds a little bit stuffy for me. At least that's what I'm feeling. The higher range is fine. The lower range, you know, is powerful. The middle range is just too stuffy for me. But let me just try it real quick using the fat neck that also comes with the Raven. You know, no extra neck to buy with that. Now, with the fat neck, of course, is constructed differently. It also is made so it has a more open sound that it projects more, and so it's really working with that. But also, yeah, light intonation difference there, but that's also had to do with the fingerings. But again, the company swears by that mouthpieces play more in tune than maybe other mouthpieces, and then also I noticed that the projection and the projection in the flash in the altissimo area, in order to you know, play it out, it plays really well, plays quite open, and pretty satisfied with that. Let's try the next mouthpiece. I'm going to try the red one. Here, these mouthpieces, I'd say, again, as I mentioned in the last video, there's no markings on them whatsoever that I could even tell what type of tip opening there is. I'm only guessing that the blue one here is somewhere around 6 star to 7 opening. Maybe it might be even larger, but I don't suppose it is. You know, at least not that's the feeling I'm getting. And so I'm going to go back to here. First, you know, with the red mouthpiece and with the original neck here. And I have to say, as I mentioned last video, here the butt end of this mouthpiece here is longer than the blue one and this lavender, I guess a lavender colored mouthpiece, and which at first on my Mark 6 at first demonstrated a difference in the intonation. It was a little bit deeper, but that might have been just because I didn't have it in far enough. Yeah, the intonation just slightly deeper, but anyway, but it's fine. Also notice here that the rails on this mouthpiece are a little bit thicker on the other mouthpiece. The rails, what I mean here, well, I just showed in this one. The rails here, just here at the side of the reeds, side of the reed, is the rails seem to be a little bit thicker. Here, the chamber by the first mouthpiece seems to be a medium chamber, while here in the red one, the chamber seems to be quite large. seems to be a large chamber mouthpiece, you know. But the opening, the tip opening is not as large as the blue one. I'm suspecting this is somewhere between 6 and a 6 star, you know, opening. Yeah, that takes a little bit more difficulty to get the lower range out of this one. Could be is just the fit on the reed on the mouthpiece is just not really working. And I guess also as if I would take the time to play the mouthpiece a lot longer to really work into it, I would get get also a better response. But just on the get-go, I'm really not a fan of this one, you know, of this mouthpiece. It seems like I said, a little less open. I like to play a pretty large opening. Like I said, my original Van Doren, I'm playing more or less a 9 opening, but that's also sometimes even for me pretty heavy. But I like it. It works for me in most situations. Let me just first try this one again with the fat neck, with the Cannonball fat neck on it, and see how this plays out. Yeah. First using the Syos ligature. Yeah. Keep everything systematic here. Yeah. And again, as I mentioned in the last video, I'll say in this one, I'm not a big fan of these type of ligatures, you know, where they just slip on. And here, and I notice on this mouthpiece, the ligature comes a little bit too far up front to the shoulder. Well, it almost seems to be as the last one, but I'm not exactly, again, I'm not a fan of these type of ligatures, because if I want to adjust, you know, there's always a danger of the ligature loosening, and then also having my reed out of place, you know, and then have to adjust that. And if I have to really play really quickly, I have to, you know, there's the chance of the reed not being in place and not getting a tone, you know. Now here, even with my fat neck, there are places on the places where I'm playing on the horn where it's not just not projecting. I mean, so for me at this moment, the red one, I'm really fighting with, you know. It's not something I want to do, or anybody wants to do when they're playing their instrument. They don't want to fight with their equipment, you know, and especially not the mouthpiece, you know. That's the last thing you actually want to even deal with fighting with, you know. So let's try it now with the Van Doren ligature to see if it fares any better, you know. A lot better. There, I'm not getting any type of funny resistance. I mean, so there, it's playing a little bit more freer in the middle range. Well, of course, with the fat neck, of course, that helps and things like this. Yeah, it's still, this mouthpiece, at least with this opening, it still would not be my favorite to play on, you know. I have to say, just because, you know, this thicker railing, this longer butt end and things like that, and just as the fact that it's a little bit less open on the tip, you know, these are just a bunch of factors that really would not make me happy. Yeah, and so now let's get to this kind of like lavender colored mouthpiece, you know. And yeah, I guess it's lavender. I'm really not too sure what color this is. They have a specific name for this color when you go to the website. I haven't bothered to look because I'm saying, you know, the color of the mouthpiece is really It's just cosmetic. I don't think it has anything to do with the sound, but who knows? I could even be wrong. You know. So here on this mouthpiece, as I mentioned before, I notice here with this type of ligature on this mouthpiece, the ligature sits pretty far front. I can't even get the ligature over the shoulder, you know? And for me, yeah, that's a drag. That's a no-no for me, you know, when the ligature, what I really, I don't like the ligature really that far up on my mouthpiece, you know? And so right away, the first impression for the sound, fine, you know? I mean, so yeah, that seems to be working fine. I mean, so again, the intonation up in the altissimo register, beautiful, great. I like it there. You know, I like the way that's working. Let me just put on the again, this type of ligature. Sometimes difficult to get on, sometimes too easy to get off, and that's why I'm really not too satisfied with those type of ligatures. You know, but I'll shut up about the ligature now. I mean, you know, I've said enough about it, but just get on my nerve. Okay, back to my Van Doren ligature. Let me just check and see if it's really closing. And again, not really. A little bit, it's closing a little bit more with this ligature, but it's still not really working. It's really not sealing, you know? So that's not really happening. So there, with this ligature, plays a little bit freer. Let's check it out with the fat neck. Yeah. Okay. Put it on the fat neck now. So. Product reviews. Ta-da. And let's see now. And so, yeah. But I like the way this mouthpiece sounds with this neck. Comes out a little bit better, you know, if any case. In any case, there it doesn't sound as stuffy, you know. I still have some resistance, you know, what I'm feeling here, which I really don't like. The opening on here, I imagine is somewhere between a 5-star and a 6, maybe. Like I said, maybe. I really cannot be too sure. As I said, there's no way to tell there, because there's no indication, of course, and they didn't tell me, you know, what they're hoping. They're just leftover mouthpieces, or which they had lying around, which they're just getting rid of. So I think I covered just about everything there. So again, thanks for listening. Thanks for checking it out. Stop by Syos, Syos.io, so Syos.io, and just take a look around, see the mouthpiece, and consider. Now, consider maybe doing it yourself. Now, either getting a signature model, models they have prepared, they have plenty, a pretty large assortment. They have a tool on the website where you can actually pick out the type of sound you want to have, and they can tell you just about, what type of chamber you would have and this, that, and the other in order to make your custom-made mouthpieces. Again, a signature model will cost you at this point 199 euros, which is I say it's still okay. It's okay. I mean, I'm playing my Van Doren V16 as I bought it was just slightly over 100 euros, which is normal price these days. And if you want to have a custom-made mouthpiece, one that's really made specifically for you, then that will run you at 299 euros, which again I say is pretty okay, especially when you're looking out on the market. There are mouthpieces where are not custom-made for you, and they will run you several hundred euros, like 300 and 400 euros, if not 600, 700, and 800 euros. No joke, seriously. And these mouthpiece manufacturers know who they are, and you've seen them yourself. You know how expensive mouthpieces can get. And I personally think that a mouthpiece, it'll do something for you. It's about how you're feeling. But as far as your sound is concerned, your personal sound, it's you. It's not really the mouthpiece. It's just about what tool you want to deal with in order to get more out of your instrument, out of your sound. I mean, not out of your sound, but out of your the possibilities out of your instrument. And so you might want to consider. I'd say that's the biggest argument I think to really for Syos is there are other mouthpieces where are not custom made, which you'll pay a lot more for. And so I would say that if you have a custom made mouthpiece and you're paying 299 euros for it, I'm saying still you're good, especially for a professional player. I mean, or you'd be able to play these mouthpieces like basically, I don't know, long time, if not forever. Supposedly they're also unbreakable. You could basically let them fall on the floor and the tip won't break. That's something I forgot to mention in the other video. But so supposedly they're kind of indestructible. You can get them in black too if you're really not into like fancy colors. I'm not really that much into fancy colors. I'm pretty old school in that sense. But who knows? Maybe I would consider a mouthpiece in blue. That'll work. I mean, I did that once with a Van Doren Jumbo Java as well. I played a blue one. But anyway, just to get back to my Van Doren V16, totally closed. It's so that way, that's the only thing that's the one thing that I found missing from the other mouthpieces here, that they weren't really closing, and so hopefully that's not the norm, for these mouthpieces. I'm imagining that's just part of one of the few type of errors that were made with these mouthpieces, and that's not that way with all their mouthpieces, Now you notice here my middle range for my Van Doren V16, strong in middle. In the altissimo range, I have to work a little bit. That's what kind of makes it kind of nice with the Syos mouthpieces. That the altissimo range is really clear, it's strong, and I really don't have to manipulate too much in order to get it. But anyway, please press that like button, subscribe, and please comment. Or even just by hello, or give me your 2 cents on what you think about mouthpieces and sound in general. And hopefully I'll be doing more of these product reviews like this one. So in any case, thanks a lot. Evan Tate here, checking out. Ciao.